good, clear aqua golf water. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a brand new album review. I had the day off today, which is a rare occurrence, and I figured, why not? Let's get back into this. Let's do something today other than sitting with my thumbs up my ass, staring at the wall, or doing nothing of particular interest. I've done laundry. I'm just waiting, waiting out the days until I can start out processing and get back to America. Let's get back to America. Anyway, figured I'd do something for you guys today. I have an album review of an album that came out back in 2013. I know I'm not really doing anything new here for as far as stuff coming out this year. There have been albums that came out this year. I've just been more interested in talking stuff that came out in the past that either I wasn't making videos at the time, or I just didn't do it until now. Or albums that really spoke to me that I have known about for a long time and just, wanted to start talking about them. There's a lot of albums from back in the past that are just so amazing that I'll end up reviewing on this channel, and they won't be new albums. I'm not one of those reviewers that'll just review new stuff as it comes out. However, I'll try to touch on that every now and then. So, what we have today for you guys is Caladan Brood. This is their only album so far to come out. Came out in 2013, Echoes of Battle. This was released under Northern Silence Productions. This group is from Salt Lake City, Utah, and it's a duo. It's two people going by the name of Mortal Sword and who's the other guy? Shit, sorry about that. Mortal Sword and Shield Anvil. Those are the aliases these two people use. It's a duo, much like Summoning, which I'm going to get into the comparison between these two bands in a bit. Anyways, these guys are from Salt Lake City, Utah, and are signed, my fault, to Northern Silence Productions. And this label is known for putting out work from other bands that are fairly either not well known or they should be well known, bands that I really enjoy, such as L4, a studio ambient atmospheric project, and Woods of Desolation, a band that focuses more on the depressive black metal style. They've also had, I believe, Alcé from France was the one signed to this label too. So what we have here is the 2013 release of Echoes of Battle. And this is, like I said, their only album out so far. However, it takes huge musical influence from another band in the black metal scene that are pretty well known to a lot of black metal fans. However, I think they should be covered more often when people talk about black metal. Summoning. Summoning is probably my favorite band right now. I have all their albums. They're absolutely great. Their music is a lot like this. This is like this. Very atmospheric, very slow in terms of pace. This isn't black metal to blast, to headbang to, or black metal to go and mosh to, or fast stuff. There are some moments on this album where there is a little bit of a faster pace, but they're very, very rare. This isn't stuff like freaking Dark Funeral or freaking Watain or stuff like that. This is just nice, peaceful, atmospheric, ambient black metal. So musically speaking, this is again a lot like Summoning. The guitars are, however, in this band, as opposed to Summoning, where the keyboards are the main instrument, the guitars tend to take a little bit more of a lead role over keyboards. Keyboards definitely do shine on this album in every song a lot. However, the guitars do at points override them. Like, for example, City of Azure Fire, the first track on this album, starts off with a nice little synth melody. It's beautiful, but the guitars soon come in, and then another synth comes in, and then when those two synths drop out of the song, the guitars are still playing. And that's kind of interesting for this band, for this style of music, because usually it's keyboard driven. So it's really a nice little change of pace. There are even guitar solos in this album, which is a very interesting thing, because Summoning doesn't do that. Guitar solos are, there's only two of them. There's one in Wild Autumn Wind, and there's one in A Voice Born of Stone and Dust. Those two songs are some of my favorite. Actually, all these songs are really awesome. I can't choose true favorites because they're just so awesome. They all do sound fairly similar in terms of atmosphere and progression and song structure, aside from the rare solos in these two songs. However, while there's not much deviation and variation to be heard, it's just the atmosphere is totally consistent, and it just is the whole focal point of the album, really. So these songs are all very long too. Most of them are in the 10-minute range, and that's really okay for this style of music. You're not going to hear short songs in this type of black metal, and that's perfectly fine. Repetition and epic song lengths are all characteristics of Caladan Brood, summoning those two bands' styles, and it really helps to overall enhance the atmosphere of the music. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, it's too long, and get bored of it. It doesn't change that quickly in each song, but that's kind of the charm of it. Really, I can't describe how good this album is. It does have its flaws in that it does tend to borrow too much from summoning at times, but the moments of originality are there, and it still stands on its own. I did originally, when I first heard the song Echoes of Battle, the title track, I did think I was listening to Summoning. No, because I found the band on the internet, and I clicked on their song, and I kind of put the tab off, and I was on another website, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, this is Summoning, but it's not. It's completely another band. So, also, interestingly enough, if you are familiar with Summoning, you'll know that their lyrics deal almost explicitly with fantasy novels of J.R.R. Tolkien and his poems, but also stuff by Moorcock, mostly Tolkien. That's basically why Summoning is often referred to as Tolkien metal. Caladan Brood is different in that regard. They do not use Tolkien at all in this album whatsoever. Instead, it is completely composed of lyrics and ideas from Stephen Erickson, the Canadian author, his epic series Malazan Book of the Fallen, which is a really cool concept. I have yet to actually really read those books, but I have them on my computer, so I'm going to definitely check them out soon. And it's all thanks to this album. Just the epic themes of battle, glory, and power really are awesome when you're reading fantasy novels. And this band definitely incorporates that in their lyrics. Lyrics on this album are beautiful and triumphant. There's even I don't know, it's just reading these lyrics, man, it's awesome. So vocal wise, when this band is performing these lyrics, they use a lot of choir vocals, and a lot of the songs, Echoes of Battle, we hear them in Wild Autumn Wind near the guitar solo, which is just gorgeous. It really helps coincide with the guitar solo. And Book of the Fallen, the 14-minute, nearly 15-minute epic of the album, which is the longest track, it's track number 6, starts off with clean vocals, soaring choirs, which just really helps set the operatic mood for the album. You're basically listening to a story when you're listening to this. You can't just listen to, say, To Walk with the Ashes of Dead Empires or the title track by themselves. You can't dissect them like that. You have to listen to tracks 1 through 6 in order to really get the full story of this album. And that's one thing I really love about it. So I'm going to talk about the packaging real quick. This is really interesting. The booklet is nothing really unique. It's just a standard booklet. Interestingly enough, Summoning on a lot of their albums, excuse me, I'm going to get another example, aside from Let Mortal Heroes Sing Your Fame, which is one I have here, they like to use frames and borders along the edges of their CDs. Here's another one called Oathbound. Look at the frame around it, this thing around, and of course, Let Mortal Heroes Sing Your Fame, a frame around it. We also get that with Caladan Brood. So another influence they obviously take from them with their artwork. There's 6 pages in the song, lyrics to every single song, which is awesome. Summoning doesn't really do that with their stuff, so it's really cool to actually have lyrics. And the CD itself is really interesting and unique. I'm not sure if other bands have done this before. This is the only the booklet's stuck. Sorry. This is the only CD I have like this. It looks like a fairly normal CD. You'll notice it's gold. Turn it over. Back of it's gold too, which is really interesting. Most of the CDs, actually all the CDs I have, as opposed to this one, are silver in the back. So I don't know if that's something that's been done a lot with other CDs, but I found it really unique and interesting. Apparently, the artwork on the disc itself is a misprint. I'm not sure exactly what it was supposed to look originally, but I think I read somewhere that they're eventually going to release another version of the album with the original CD artwork, which would be pretty cool. Crap. All right. So packaging. I'm not really gonna rate the packaging. The artwork's awesome. It's beautiful. It matches the music perfectly. But the real question is, what is the rating of this album? I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10, actually. I'll be a little more realistic. This thing is really awesome. However, I can't give it a perfect score because it does take a little too much, in my opinion, from summoning. Not necessarily in themes of lyrics, but the aspects of the actual musical compositions do borrow a little too much from my comfort, as opposed to the occasional moments of originality, such as guitar solos, and they do use more choir vocals than Summoning do. The harsh vocals sound also quite different from Summoning, but again, that's not really um, a huge impact on this overall music. Atmospherically, it's awesome. It's very melodic. It's great. The drums, I love the programmed drums on this album, but again, that's all stuff borrowed from Summoning, and I think that the band probably did this on purpose. However, in their next album, I like to hear a little more variation, and I know they can do it. It's just Summoning is such an awesome band, and I can see why they'd want to actually take their ideas and use it with their music. So I'm waiting for their next album to come out soon. I don't know when it's going to be. I haven't heard anything about it, and the last thing I heard about this band was when they were releasing this one. They are absolutely great, though. I advise anyone who's into black metal to check them out, especially people who are into Burzum, the more atmospheric stuff like Burzum, Summoning, obviously, bands like Men. And honestly, the Men I reviewed the other day. Check that out too. Anything like that, more keyboard-driven stuff. This would definitely be up your alley. This is a great record, and I really can't explain how much I love it. It's absolutely amazing. So check it out, Caladan Brood, Echoes of Battle. I'll see you guys in a later video. Hopefully, I'll have a good one, and don't eat the worm.